Alright, so I haven't made a video in a minute, so here's a video, and I'm gonna go over a trade, how you could have caught it, and how you would have gotten the levels in order to catch that. So here's the trade, so 1 to 6, right here, it's pretty calm to take this bullshit right here. Meant to do the opposite, but it is what it is. But yeah, so first I'm gonna go over the levels themselves, which trades, there you go, clear chart. So how do I get these levels that I have y'all see on the screen here? Y'all can see these are pretty decently reactive levels. So you can see here, I took this trade as well, but you can see here this. So me, I trade balances. So whenever we have a balance, so for example this right here, I will take this and I'll get a fixed range volume profile on it. I'll take the value area high of it and I'll take the value area low of it, and then I'll mark it out. Yeah, so you can see here's a prime example of that. Here, I'm on the 5 minute time frame. Oh, here's this little range that we made. Took the value high, value low. Here's value area low of it. Here's the reaction we get from it initially. And then we had this, and then we had this, which is what I took. But yeah, pretty much anytime we have a range, you just want to mark it out. Here's a few freestyles I did using that. Here's a range. Take that. Okay, you would have got yourself this little trade. This range right here, breaking back, value area low. You could have got yourself this little trade up to this vol low. And yeah. Again, bang bang right there. Again, here, there's the value area low. The break again here. And yeah, just have once again here, little range, blah blah blah. But yeah. Alright, cool. So now that you know how I got the levels. Of course, as like I said, have this little range, I have the value very high. We had traded up to it, and I want y'all to see. Wait, I actually have this off. Just give me, bear with me. Okay, there we go. We also had this imbalance. I did want to point out from here. So, trading after we started trading, after the value very high, you see, look at this, look at all this buying and those are divergence that we formed. So here's the footprint. As you can see here, we had a massive block of absorption going up to this imbalance, and importantly past this level right here. So you can see here, look at this block of bullish delta, this block, look at this whole block right here. Let me label it. So now you're seeing that the buyers are putting in a ton of effort. And look at the candle close, the 5 minute candle. We had a 5 minute close with a bullish delta. You can see here, delta divergence is labeled out right here. And after that, sellers were able to get going and easily trade under or value area high, saying that, okay, we filled this auction. We do not want to break and trade above this value right here. Paired with the fact that we reacted to the imbalance. Once I seen that sellers were actually holding that aggression, as you can see here, we kept that aggression going. That's where I took my trade right here. Stop loss at the high of this. Now for targets, since I trade range to range, so you can see here, we had this range that we made pre-market, overnight, whatever. What did I took the range, and from that range, I took the value area low of it. You can see right there. I used it for my TP. I could have gotten a few extra bucks if I went for this value area high from yesterday. Not yesterday. Today is the no 2 days ago. If I take this, here is this value area high right here, which has been a very supportive level. So you can see here, has held support here, held support here, somewhat held support here. Then all of this, I could have used that as a target and gotten entry almost to the tick, but no. Um, and I also want to go over another trade that could have been caught, which is yeah, incurring a view up over here. If you could have incurred a view up here, which you can see here, price later did bounce from my entry again. And then it came back and retested this. So I mean, you could have anchored a view up here, source it to your high, which is in this case we did have some overshoot, but you could have taken that. Of course, you would have gone break even, but if you were to anchor out this high, then after we came back and retested this, the value area low. Let me check the view up. I don't know where it moved. Let's see what we had right here. Again, some absorption as we traded above this VWAP and traded into this value. So from that, as soon as we started trading down, stop at your high. Yep, there you would have had a pretty simple setup right there. It's not too bad. Same with this right here. This little bottom tick we did, trading into this plus this imbalance. You can got some aggressive selling. Now the thing is that when it comes to footprint and stuff like that, like for example, look, you see like these heavy blocks, heavy selling blocks, but the thing that separates these from these is that they're at a significant level. So like for you could have absorption and like anywhere, for example, like right here. But absorption here, like for example, like look at all this, like look at this heavy selling block. Like this really didn't do anything. Like why? Because it wasn't not at a significant level. Like here we have an imbalance from over here, from this low that we made. Uh where sellers, as you can see, were previously absorbed, and here we left behind an imbalance before we flip bullish. And using that level, that zone, plus the fact that we have this level, a point of control and a value area low from a range, look at the selling here, and then look at how we flipped over after, like look at the lack of interest right here. This is some exhaustion after absorption. You could have used this and gotten it around right here ish, something like this. Stop loss at the low. And for targets, you would be targeting this right here. Of course, lower R, but still a solid trade that you could have took. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to recap this trade, and I kind of went over a few things at the same time. But actually, before I stop recording, I'm gonna go over a few more examples of trades. I mean, of course, there's like this little range right here that you could have used to also take this long to like to accompany this level. You could have used the POC or anything like that. Could have used it to confirm this level even more. Let me grab a range. For example, if you had this range right here, could have used value area low plus an imbalance of this range. If you could have done something like this to this right here. I'll stop at the high. from here again, you could have also logged up to this other level. So you're pretty much trading balance to balance. Show another one here when we made this little range. Remember, this is the 5 minute, so it's more significant whenever we do these. As you can see here, you had this little, had the POC right there. There again, zoom in, look at that. Finish auction, that indicates exhaustion. Some heavy selling that didn't take us nowhere really. Coming up to the POC. And then with this, of course, you're taking it to one of these levels, or you could have taken it up to this ranges. And if you would have used this range, you could have come right here and why is my horizontal line not working? This value area high, you could have used that and taken a little scalp down to the value area high of this range right there. Yeah, use trading balances. So this is maybe better for ES. I'm not too sure. I don't watch Nasdaq too much. But I know Nasdaq moves to more than ES. So this I just do it on ES because I just find ES to be easier. Also look at this value area low overlaps with value area high of this. And yeah, look at this. Look at the support. I mean resistance that they sell as well. So that's pretty neat. Let me show more examples of ranges. I'm not trying to cherry pick. This wasn't really a big range or anything to deal with. So we kind of had nothing. I mean, once we traded here, we did have this little reaction right here. Of course, I mean, all of this got railed by this news scandal, so I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Straight to these go get this upper range right here that we had. If I take that, there you go. Area low of that. Okay, for many short opportunities, you could have also taken this range right here, which is this level that I have right here. Just a little lower because I only marked out like this. So, but you could have taken also this whole thing. And there's your target for shorts. If you were to take this out, you could target this right here. Then there you get your trade. Stop loss off the high. Let me do this again. This is kind of like a messed up range, but I mean, it still works. Take that. Value area high of that. You can also mark out the value area low. Like the thing is that when it comes to these, like you want to be looking at the order flow around value area low, value partner control, and value area high. In this case, for example, here we did leave behind an imbalance, bullish imbalance, and we had this. That leads to this initial reaction right here that it did for me would have gone break even. But you could have seen here this swing that we had lower. You could have taken it down to this vol high. You could have got yourself a nice trade with that. Let me move on to another balance. This is not really because we're kind of just staircasing up. I wouldn't really label this out, just a staircase, but I mean, we almost did get a reaction, but it's really nothing too much to get out of this. So here it's really just this, which I did get. Actually, I did mark this little range out. Yeah, it's a 20th. Oh, but it's like from the volume profile. The purple one, my purple levels are usually fixed range profiles that are marked out. My blue levels are periodic. So if I enable this, then yeah, there it is. Just a high that I marked out. But yeah, finding more ranges. Again, ranges right here. Have this upper range. What happens? Fall high. There you go. Follow. Show some reaction on this one right here. Same stuff. We had this reaction. Although this was a new candle. See, we did come down and wick down really hard. From this one, this actually kept us. We came back to retest. So you can see here, this one led to this long right here. These longs, pretty tiny longs, but could have used those to target this balance or this demand zone. Um, range right here. Hawk. There you go. Not close above it, so that's cool. This is these are awkward ranges, but there you go. We with that. Keep in mind these are like awkward ranges. I'm not even marking out like I am sometimes, but I'm not always marking out these proper ranges. Pretty sure this was all time high, so it's really not really doesn't matter much. We never tested this again. Actually, we did. You know, we did, but we ran through it. It's not all time highs. Here you have a range right here. Reaction one, reaction two. Could have used this for longs. Could have used to take a short down to vol low. If you trade just like regular like AMT, you would take this to vol low or their stuff like that. But otherwise, you're getting in this long. Uh, Here, there's that. There's also POC right there. So you have to be wary of both. Both would have given you an entry. This would have POC would have given you the bottom. This would have given you the break and retest. Get rid of this line. It's just a massive range. I'm not sure if we ever came back into this. Yeah, no, we never came into this, so I really can't speak for that one. But yeah, look at this again. Like, what was this off of? Like, if you take this range and then you plot that, there you go. Or you could also plot the POC of that, and it gave an even better reaction. But yeah, and then once you do that, then you're targeting lower volume. Which in this case you would be targeting this. Which what did this do? Had a low reaction there, nothing too much. Under 1 minute, this would have been a break and retest. Same here. Same here. That led up to this. You could have targeted this. Could have also targeted any of these balances down here. And then yeah, I mean I don't have more data for that. I could load, but I don't wanna. But I mean this is self-explanatory. It's pretty free. You could also play with VWAPs the same way, but this case with VWAPs you do have to source them. So if you anchor a VWAP at a low of a move, then what you want to do is change the price type or the source to low, and this will give you a continuation play for whatever move you missed. So in this case, let's say you missed this, or you could take this, you could take this as a continuation. If you missed this, then it'll give you another continuation. Could have taken that to this imbalance. And yeah, it just goes on and goes on. Here, after that, let's say you anchor this one out, then there you go. You got continuations to keep going. Same for highs. If you're in a short or you missed a short, let's say, for example, let's say this, you missed this. It's already sort. Nope, it's not sourced to the high. There you go. You could have got that. You could have got this little one. This one is too big of a sell, so I don't know if this even gives anything important. No, but it they didn't show give the flip. So when we flip push, find any more examples. I mean, like these are really so sharp sell-ups, so like it's really hard to get anything out of an anchor to this. But there you go. And there's that. There's that. Then again, kind of gives the flip. So whenever we flip, yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. All you doing is just anchoring volume profiles, anchoring VWAPs, and then marking out their value areas. I mean, of course, with the VWAP as well, you could add the deviation bands for 1 and 2 to simulate your value and like your value is your extreme, but yeah, I'd say extremity, like the furthest the price will go. And you could use that for confluence. Like actually, let me do that later with this high. It's gonna demonstrate. So high source. That's two. That's deviation 1, deviation 2. With let's see. There's your string. Again here. Again here. But yeah, that'll be all. Got nothing much to say. If y'all want a more in-depth video on each one of those, I'm willing to make a video going explicitly over the volume profile and anchoring it and how to like grab the lows from it better. Not the footprint, the VWAP on how to properly anchor VWAP better to catch moves, retracements. And then also, I mean, I already made a video on the footprint, but I can make another video on the footprint. That's just me, because last video I made, or only video I have in the footprint was with a mentee, so I can go ahead and I can make another one if y'all want. But for that, for now, that'll be pretty much all that I'll go over.